it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today is day 7 of Vlogmas. I am super excited. I've got 2 little ink follow-ups, and then we will do our Inkvent, Advent, and little planner related goodness. So I haven't touched it yet, but it still looks super wet. And it's mostly dried, but it definitely has that like sticky residue. So I've got like a used inky up tissue. Ooh, see, that's part of the problem. Trying to like get rid of that stickiness because that sticky spot will stick to the next page. I did end up smearing it and getting tissue fuzz on here. I need a cloth or a paper towel up here. Just using a tissue. We wiped off some of that, so hopefully the pages won't stick together, because I have noticed on the sheening inks, when they sheen that much and you get it pooled up in a spot like that, it has a tendency to stick to the next page. So I tried to clean that up just a tiny bit. And then I wanted to see this swatch. I'm doing just kind of catch up today. So one day I had a headache, wasn't feeling it. I think the next day I did like double Vlogmas, so I don't know that I even journaled that day. And then last night I went out with a bunch of girlfriends. I'll talk about it here in a minute, but I have not done the journaling. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how bad that bled through. I thought it would. It was looking like this ink was gonna bleed through this paper. So unfortunately they did bleed. I might have to change up my lineup so that I don't have that problem again. It just looked like on this paper that it was bleeding through. So it bled through really bad all the way to this paper a little bit. Like this ink bled through. I expect that a little bit on this paper, so not a big deal unless there's a swatch right behind it. So I'll have to be more mindful of where I swatch things. Maybe like all the way down and then the next spread all the way up here, or alternate them just to make sure they don't line up like this again. That's what I was most worried about. I liked these pages in between, which I don't even think I've updated my Inkvent pages. So day 3 was Season's Greeting and Colorverse Moonlit Veil. I think I already took those out of the pen, so I'll have to dip pen for this. So like I said, just kind of a catch-up day. I need to get caught up on everything. The last day I did this was day 3. I'm a day ahead for you guys, so it's actually day 6 right now. So I need 4 and 5 right now. So I'll work on that a little bit. I've got to clean pens and get myself not discombobulated, combobulated. I don't know that that's a word. But yeah, just kind of a catch-up day today. So I will work on that. I'll do some speed ups for that in a minute. So while I'm doing my ink swatching, I will tell you guys and throw some pictures up on the screen here and there to talk about. We went downtown, which I'm not a downtown lady. We do live in Austin, Texas, but I am not a downtowner. I stick in my like little South Austin bubble and don't go outside of that very much. So we went to a little pop-up bar, and this is totally not my normal typical jam, but it was a lot of fun. So here's number 7. Let's do this real quick. Ooh, another one of the like grayish ones, and this one does say glistening, so I guess they will tell you if there's a shimmer in here. Rover is a color inspired by unmanned rovers designed to explore the surface of planets. So this one is a shimmer. I'm excited. I'm glad that it says it too, because I've been like looking at the bottles. Oh my gosh, I cannot get it out. I've been looking at the bottom of the bottles like, is it a shimmer? Yeah, see, you can tell when it's a shimmer generally. I feel like these bottles aren't very dark. So there's definitely lots of shimmer in that. I'm very excited. I do love shimmery inks. I know some people do not, but I do happen to love shimmery inks. So I'm excited. There are a few shimmers in this collection. Chair squeakage again. So we've got Rover, which is gorgeous. I'm very excited about that one. And then I am going to go with that. I'm going to go like a green or a red. I'm trying to find one that looks like it would match with a gray decently. I'm looking through. Here's a good one. This is Blizzard. So I think this was, yeah, this is a Diamine purple edition. So I think purple was last year for the Diamine Inkvent. So this is one of those, and it is also a shimmer. So this is a blue with some like ice blue shimmer on there. Beautiful. So we've got 2 shimmers today, which is really fun. I will do my swatches down here. And I need a new page in this one. So flippity flip, and I don't go back to back in this book. I go skip a page. Make sure I'm only skipping one. Okay. We'll skip a page and start fresh on here, go down and up, and we'll swatch these. So I had so much fun last night. I knew like a third to a half of this group. It was a different group of friends, but I'm friends with certain members of the group. So I got to meet a lot of new people. We had so much fun. It's definitely not my typical outing, and especially with like that many new people, it was a big experience for me as an introvert, like meeting a bunch of new ladies and going somewhere totally different downtown, not my normal like comfort zone place. So this was totally out of my element, and I'm so glad I went. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm nervous about going. I feel like the kid on the first day of school, like meeting new people. I hope everybody likes me and we get along and all that kind of stuff. You know, having those jitters about new people, being an introvert and not super social. I try to be social, but I'm not a very social person. And so it was totally out of my comfort zone. I'm glad my friends invited me and kind of dragged me there, to be honest, kind of dragged me there. But I was really having a good time. So we had a great, fun adventure. I had a cocktail called Christmasosaurus, and it came in a dinosaur cup, and it was super cute. The bartender described it as a pina colada, but like Christmas spices, winter spices. And I feel like that was an entirely accurate description, very pina colada-esque, and it was delicious. I ended up with cocktails. I tried the grilled cheese because I had to eat something. I didn't eat dinner beforehand. We left like right at dinner time, so I ordered my family pizza. It got here as I was getting ready, and I was like, oh, I don't feel like pizza right now. I'm a little nervous, you know, to be meeting so many new people and going into an entirely new place, so I didn't want to eat. But then I needed to eat, so I ate there, and we had a good time. Took so many pictures. There's so many like cute little spots in this place. It was like filled to the brink, all Christmas, decked out completely, and it was super cute. I tried to get some clips of everything, and we took one of those like party vans, so none of us had to drive or park downtown. And a couple of ladies met us there, and it was just so nice, such a nice time. And it was a great group of ladies I already knew. Like I said, like a third of the group, not a whole lot of the members, but everybody was great and so nice, and we had so much fun. I was glad I went. It's one of those events where I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a good time, but I'm so nervous about it, and I don't wanna be outside of my comfort zone bubble, and meeting new people is always nerve-wracking for me. I'm like, I overthink everything. So like, being around that many new people at once in a bigger group, I'm like, oh, I have the sweats almost just thinking about it. Because I am not that kind of social person where I can like go into a group of like 15 people and be like, fit right in and feel comfortable. I'm like, no, I'm terrified a little bit, you know? On the inside, I'm a little terrified. Like making that many new friends. Not that social of a person, so gives me the heart palpitations. Maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but still, like, definitely not a comfort zone thing for me. You know where my comfort zone is? Right here, playing with inks. Talking to the camera, I'm fine with that, but meeting a bunch of new people, nerve-wracking for me. Anyway, this one is Blizzard, Diamine. Our AC or our heat just kicked in. I can hear it. I hope you guys don't hear it. Usually I don't think I hear it very much, but this room has a really good vent because I'm upstairs and all of our like AC, HVAC stuff is in the attic. So upstairs gets real good heat and cold, like right where I am. And then our media room is right next door to this room. And that room is like the coldest room in the house. It's right above all the HVAC stuff, or right under the HVAC stuff. Very pretty. I did pick up a color I thought would go well with this, and I'm already seeing the sparkly bits in this, which I'm stoked about. I feel like this paper might be soaking up the ink a little bit more than I had anticipated, but oh, can you see that shine? So pretty. I already can see it shining through. This one a little bit more subtle, but this one is jam-packed, it looks like. So we will let these dry down. Did we open our day 7? No, we did not. Okay, gotta open day 7 gift from the Hubman and Chub Girl Gingerbread Advent, which as far as I know was still in stock. So you can still purchase one of these, although it won't ship, you know, in time. I'm gonna pull this one a separate way to not mess up that. Pull my sticker off in a second. Okay, so this is wrapping paper, which I think is super cute. It is like wrapped up, so there's the folds on the wrapping paper, but they fold out pretty big. I feel like I've got quite a few presents. I'm done buying presents for the girls, so I feel like I could use all of these. I've got enough smaller sized presents that I could use these wrapping papers and just fold out like accordion style. pretty decent size. Oh, I ripped a little bit. That's okay. It's a pretty decent sized piece of paper and super cute. So there's different background colors on these. We've got the pink background, green background, and the craft brownish kind of background. So I've got duplicates of this. I've got 6. I totally think I can use these for like smaller sized little gifts for the girls. So definitely like those. I will end up wrapping presents here. I've got a few more that are going to be delivered, and then I'm going to start wrapping presents. I'm trying to peel this sticker off. This one's pretty smooth sailing. Not too bad there. So yeah, so happy I went last night. Back to my story time. So happy I went. It's one of those things where I'm like, I am proud of myself for getting out there and going somewhere new and having lots of fun and not too much overthinking it. Of course, I definitely was overthinking it. But like getting out of my own head and going and having a nice time. I'm proud of myself for doing it, and the pictures were so cute because all the little areas in the place were decked out with like the cutest backgrounds. Oh, I still need number 6. Oh, I have to spatula peel that one off. I didn't bring my spatula up, so I still need to do that. This is day 7 right here. So we'll let those dry a bit. And so today I want to talk about my content planning. I have mentioned this in the big video, but I haven't set anything up, and I don't think I'm gonna actually set anything up in this video, but I'm gonna tell you one of my other ideas about content planning. I do have to go downstairs, so I need to grab a spatula and one of my planners. And then we're going to talk content planning a little while. Okay, I ended up bringing up a bunch of stuff so I could talk about content planning here. Got certain stacks, a certain method to the madness. Okay, that. And then I did go ahead and use the spatula, peeled off number 6 to stick on page number 6 for December. And we got numbers all the way caught up through. So there's that. I've got to work on my journaling a little bit, but I want to talk content planning. So I had talked about in my planner lineup videos, I was going to use the Laurel Denise portrait style planner as my content planner, and that is still like part of the plan, but I realized there's not a whole lot of notes paper, and they do have coil clip-in things, but it's only for the O-wires, not for these portrait style planners. And I saw on the Laurel Denise Facebook group, people had purchased some of the coil clips from Erin Condren, and they also do not fit this coil. So this coil, like the interchangeable things for this coil don't actually fit this coil, unfortunately. So I can't do the coil clip method. I can always do note papers, and I bought some note papers specifically to be able to like tip in here with some washi tape or whatever. I can stick things in this folder, but this just doesn't have a whole lot of notes paper, and I need a lot of note paper for the actual content planning side of things. So while I can take notes in here, I have the sticky notes that fit with this, and it also has like a lined section, so I could do like video notes on here. That's not a like permanent dedicated solution potentially, so I bought some of the bigger sticky notes. I show that in my Black Friday Erin Condren haul, and I labeled them. You can get those personalized. They say Sami Sweet Life, so it's going to still be like involved in this system, but I just need a place to write down video ideas, to separate out my content, because I'm trying to start more short form content like YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, Instagram stories, and try to incorporate that in where you guys know I like to ramble. That's really hard for me to like cut it down to less than a minute. I'm not going to say never, but I don't know, I'm not hip enough or something to use TikTok. Cannot figure it out every time I've been on there. It's just like, I cannot learn another social medias. I just can't. I can't do it. Like, I'm a YouTube OG. I like started with a blog, then went to YouTube, and I just cannot get outside of my bubble, right? I'm like, all about that comfort. I want YouTube videos, but I do like the shorts. I do like the Instagram reels. So I'm going to try that, but that doesn't leave me a whole lot of room to map out everything. So I'd already walked through how I post-it noted this up. I'm going to skip ahead a tiny bit. So I'm thinking like with all the like different companies that I work with, all their different launches and stuff, I can plan content around their launches a little bit, plan around what holidays and what planner releases are coming up. But this doesn't give me a whole lot of room for the day-to-day planning out all the YouTube content or the shorts content. So I'm thinking I'm still going to keep a separated out content planner. And I was saying this content planner is the weeks size. This is the Sterling Ink week size, which they call N2. Yeah, so this is N2. So like, here's a good example of a week. I'm like trying to do IG too, but this is my YouTube content, and I want like 3 separated out segments pretty much, like YouTube regular content, YouTube Shorts, Instagram content. So that would encompass all the Instagram stuff. But I feel like YouTube Shorts is totally different. It's not the same form factor that I'm used to. So I film those on my phone. I edit those in a different way, which is still up in the air because I have trouble with the editing portion of that. It's an entirely different piece of content. Can't like chop this video up into that 1 minute portion because this is oriented a different way. So it's entirely different content. So my brain needs more space because I have a good system for this, but I'm adding in potentially 2 more forms of content where I need like a dedicated space. So I had purchased the teacher planners, which I will show, and I probably will try out. I just need more space than this for that. I also have video notes and ideas over on this side. And this setup has worked really nicely for strictly just YouTube videos. It doesn't cover affiliate stuff or product launches, collabs, any of that stuff, which I want to put in here, which has a fuzz. I was like, what? Did I just get ink on everything? No, it's just a paper fuzz or something. So I'm going to have like a 2-part system. This is more like the businessy side of things, which I will use and bounce off for my content planning. This doesn't give me room to do the content planning. Oh, part of the content planning is using the monthly. By the way, I've incorporated that in pretty consistently. I'm not going to show like a current monthly. Show you like here's October. Okay. Like I have the little post-it notes. These are the Moxie Life post-it notes that I cut down because they fit 1.5 inch columns. They don't fit in this. So I'd like to incorporate in one where I don't have to cut them down. See, like they would fit really good in here. Also the Laurel Denise sticky notes fit in all of these compartments as well. And then like my to-do listing stuff for day-to-day use can easily go in here. So I know like keeping track of things. I could also try to write in my launch things here, but I feel like that would get lost with the to-do listing. I'm not sure. Again, like just not sure it's going to be everything. I kind of want a content planner separately to where I can look at this calendar and be more like the back end type of stuff, like who is doing what releases, my to-do listing for editing and stuff. Whereas like on a day-to-day basis, I don't put those kind of to-do listing tasks in here in a dedicated fashion. I just don't have room. Like this is my videos and I have my little checklist here, but a lot of times I don't have like a dedicated to-do list on here. So I like this having a dedicated to-do list spot, but I need something to bounce off of as well. So I'm not sure I'm going to put my content here. I'm going to try. I could do like a 3-dot system here for my content, like down at the bottom, or the top 3 would be YouTube, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, something like that with 3 dots. Could potentially do that, but I kind of like the idea of having something separate. So I have other things I can bounce off of for this if I want to combine it with this, and it would potentially have more room to hash out ideas. One of those ideas is the Hello Kitty edition. I love the Hello Kitty special edition. Have not found a great use for it. Well, it's got my 3 categories, and then I don't know what I would do down here potentially, but it would be like YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. And it would be 3 different sections of writing it out. And also it has the calendar, and the things fit in the calendar really nicely. So this is a 1.5 inch Moxie Life sticky note. These come in these little booklets, and I've used these now, I guess, for 2 years. I don't know if they're 2 years old or 1 year old, but I still have tons. Like you can barely tell I used most of that. And there's still just tons and tons of those. They come in the 2 different colors. So they totally work. The Laurel Denise sticky notes also work. I have the bigger pack. This is the bigger pack of Post-it notes. So they fit really nicely. And these boxes also in the portrait style planner. They're designed for the horizontal planner, but they work great. So I also have those to work with. These papers are really toothy, so sometimes these Post-it notes don't stick the best in here. Just because the paper's so toothy, it doesn't give you a whole lot of surface area to grab onto. I feel like they stick. I'm not entirely sure that that's the greatest option. I feel like they'll work, but I'm not sure like moving them a ton of times is gonna work. I also have these really cheap Amazon ones. I'd have to use a different pen for these because they are kind of glossy, but they fit pretty decently too. I would be okay with that much overhang, but that would give me room to like do more than one potentially because they're a little bit skinnier. But these I got in a pack, and I gave these away at Go Wild too. I gave like each of my table mate gifts one of these, and I still have a bunch. So they come in big sets in bulk. They work pretty good for this as well. Also, there's tons of other Post-it notes. So I have a ton of them on my wish list to like try out different Post-it notes potentially for planners. So this one might work really nicely. I have problems with these because there's no lines, but I wouldn't be putting a ton of information on each thing in here. It would just be like 1 or 2 lines of information and then some sort of checklist similar to the other content planner. Here we go. This is all me brainstorming my content stuff. Yeah, I've shown you guys this before. That's like my charcuterie list I still need to do. But like I have my little dot checklist. So it'd be like a line or two, all my little dots. A line or two, all my little dots. I have it like in an organized fashion in that way. So that would work really nicely. This one also has a little bit of note paper built in. So for like video ideas or brainstorming, there's this at the end of the month. There's this at the beginning of the month. So like big events or collabs can be hashed out here, video notes or other ideas. Also some in the back here. Not a ton, but still, you know, a decent little amount there. So that would give me more room to work with. I can always use whatever notebook I'm using. Like this one I'm just using up the back pages of this monthly. It has a ton of note pages. I can always use the back pages of whatever notebook, or again, like tack in those personalized notepads I bought. I'll try to piece in a clip for you guys from that haul. I'll link it down below as well. I don't know what size they are, but they're pretty big. They're not quite a 7x9. They're pretty big size, so they would be enough room to get more notes in. I also originally thought I was going to use one of these teacher planners, so I didn't grab the one. I actually ended up with 4 of these. I got all 4, and I'm actually using the teal one. It's like a full-on teal one. It lives in our kitchen. I just write down the kids' stuff, and I think I've shown about what I've done. It's like this side is Livy's side, this side is Stella's side, and I write any of their chores or anything for school, like school closures and things go on these little spots. Anything that they need to bring for school or remember for like dress up days and things like that, it goes on this spread, and it doesn't get filled out like to completion. It's usually like a few things here, a few things here, and on and on. So Livy has a couple of homework assignments every week. Stella's working on sight words. There's like various things throughout the week, book return days. It all goes on here so that I can keep track. I don't make it even look pretty. I was like brush lettering their names, but a lot of weeks it just is blank, really, honestly. They just know which side they are, and it's really for me to make sure everything ends up in their backpack, like field trip days. Make sure they have a sack lunch versus a different kind of packed lunch, right? So it's just out, it lives there, and any like paper assignments that are still due. Like Stella will have like a worksheet she works on. It'll be like tucked in behind here. So it's functional, it's working for us, and I've used that one in that capacity. So I have 3 other ones, and I thought because these are grid style layouts, it might work really nicely for this. This is more like what the other one looks like. This is the bright rainbowy one. I love, look, the pink edges, pink cover, and this gives me space for days, you know. A lot of my content, most of it's gonna be on the weekdays. So having just the weekdays here, and it can be the various different sections. I probably don't need 6 sections, honestly. I probably need 3. So this would be like 3. This could be ideas and brainstorming on this side. So that could work really, really well. This one is the same thing, just different color scheme. This is the Bold Blooms color scheme. So it's a little bit more muted, and it's got the gold edges, which is beautiful. And I love the cover of this one, potentially. Would be a great option. So I could definitely use this. It has the lines. It's the Monday through Friday. I don't really need the weekends anyway. So this is a very great, viable option. So I'm kind of just bouncing back and forth between what potential second really hardcore dedicated content planner I'm going to be using. So this one has these kind of setup pages between the months. I just happen to flip to it perfectly. And then you do still get the monthly calendar. And this one's a little bit bigger, just a hair bigger. I think these would fit really nicely, actually. Yeah, so potentially I could write with my nails, not so much. I could potentially write on these really nicely because they would fit in the boxes as well. That means all those other Post-it notes would still fit in these boxes really nicely. So it's just a great option. They're beautiful bound books. Before I really decided on the Laurel Denise, I got these thinking probably content planner for these planners. And these ones are academic year, so they started in like September, October time. August, September time. I was trying to say September and August, like going backwards, and it didn't work. I kept saying September, October. That's the wrong thing. August or September, they start, you know, school times and then go through mid-2025. So it would be a pace where I could start using this in January, and it's the middle of this book, and then I would redate the front half and use it for the second half of the year. And these ones would all be a situation where I would just redate these and continue to use what I've got instead of purchase like next year's teacher planner. It's going to be the same as these, so I don't need to replace these with a separate one because these ones are gorgeous. I plan on using these at some point or something, somewhere, somehow. These ones are really beautiful and I think they would work nicely for that. Also, this one, it would be the same thing where this one actually is a January start, so I wouldn't have to redate anything in this. But I have another Hello Kitty edition. If this works really well, I could redate that one for the next year. So I just have to figure out if either of these systems will work for me. I need to figure out if I could just go ahead and stick it all in this book for the year and see if that would work for me. So this is all part of the experimental side of things. This one's definitely going to be set up for my affiliate stuff and launch dates, collab dates, paydays, the tax stuff. Like, I know one of my planner besties, Sarah, commented on that one of my lineup videos and she's like, oh my gosh, as a bookkeeper, I cannot believe that you are not keeping track of your expenses. I'm like, I know it's cringy. I haven't done it. I used to when I ran a business, like selling products, I definitely kept track. But I'm like, oh, but this is just fun and YouTube-y. I want to make it a viable thing, but also like that just brings a whole other level of like bookkeeping, keeping records. Right now I don't take any deductions. If they audit me, like they're not going to find anything because I'm not taking any deductions, right? So it's not anything I will ever have to argue about at all. I'm just like, here are my forms from the various affiliate blah blah blahs, right? I have those forms. It's not something that's going to be audited. But when you start taking deductions, like that's me, again, total chronic overthinker. That's me like freaking out that I'm gonna have to be audited and they're gonna need all the records and I'm gonna misplace something and you know, the whole thing. Like that was part of me running that LLC, is like keeping all those records gave me heart palpitations. It's a lot. I'm so thankful my husband is a numbers guy, so he handles number stuff, but this I would have to keep track of. Anyway, trying to keep track lots better, and I think this one's going to work great for that. But it's just adding in, you know, adding in all of the affiliate stuff and the tax stuff and trying to do more content than just YouTube videos. And I'm saying that not nonchalantly. I'm not saying it like, oh, just YouTube videos, like it's nothing, because it is. It's a whole side hustle all on its own, and I'm adding in even more content as my kids get older and need me less. I can grow this way better. So that's what all of this is like adding in so much of the back end stuff, plus adding in more content. I don't know that this is going to cut it, because it doesn't have a whole lot of notes pages. It doesn't have the separated out sections like this has separated out sections. This has the separated out sections. I just need that extra space just to have space to write it out so things aren't going to get lost. I'm very much a planner, like I need exactly the space for exactly this one subject. I can't put 4 things in this planner because then my brain does not see all 4 things and I lose something and it's chaotic, and I just need to be able to focus. Like when I'm doing the tax and collabs and affiliate stuff, I have it right here, right where I need to see it. And then when I'm doing YouTube planning and video ideas, I have it right here where I can see it, and it's separated out a little bit better than trying to squeeze all of it on one spot. So I think it's going to be a 2 planner system because I am adding in so much extra. This is going to be content somewhere in the mix as well. That's all my long rambly goodness. I'm trying to make it probably a 2 planner system. One strictly content, one strictly affiliate and business side of stuff. And then I can cross-reference as needed between the 2 planner. I don't exactly know how it's going to work yet. So I'm just filling you guys in on my thought processes because, you know, as much as I've been like, oh, we have 3 months because I started seeing planner lineups in September. We're like, this is my 2025 lineup. It's September 1st. I've got it all nailed down. I'm like, oh, I've got months to do this. I have got months. And now we're like, oh, we're already a full-on week into December. I don't have months anymore. I've got a few weeks and I got to start planning things out and getting calendars ready for starting in January. So I'm really, really thinking about this one. What I'll probably do for this one is, you know, set this one up affiliate wise and then pick one of these to start with in January and see how it goes. And then in February, I can reevaluate and try out the other one and see how it goes. And then in March, I'll probably have some sort of system set up for a while. And it could be a case where I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this one an honest go for 90 days. So I'm going to stick in it for quarter 1. So for quarter 2, I'm going to do a totally different system and see how it goes. See if it works a little better. And of course, all of this is going in my planner. I'm gonna have a dedicated spot to hash out all of the different sections and things. How I want everything to look, how I want everything to function for me. That's why I made the planner. It's exactly like this, where I can hash it out in my planner and have an entire dedicated plan. And that comes after these videos where I'm telling you guys the tools that I have, that I could potentially use, how I could potentially use them, and ultimately I have to make that decision. And of course, this has no cover on it. I stole the cover for my daily duo. So I'm gonna put a different cover on this when I decide to use it. There you go, that's my thought process. Of course, I can always make this one match this portrait planner. This one is not an interchangeable cover for the Laurel Denise. And I was thinking the pink does not match that great. They kind of clash. So I don't like the pink next to it. These ones look real good next to each other. And also, I'm gonna move this out of the way. This one is like, ooh, bam, looks really good. Look, it picks up these like mauve tones. So these two are like a match made in heaven. So I'm really leaning towards these two because I think they look real good together. They're floral, you know, I love me some florals, and they actually coordinate really beautifully together. So I'm thinking if and when I'm using a teacher lesson planner, I think it's gonna be this one. So floral matchy match. That's a nice little stack. I mean, not little, big. This is a big planner. And these are 8x10s. I think this is a 9x11 actually. It's a big boy beaver planner. So there you go. Those work beautifully together. And so now you see lots of my inner workings in my crazy planner obsessed brain. I can probably get a good system going from here. It's just going to take a little bit of trial and error and testing out things and deciding, you know, which sections for which things, if I want to use a color coding system, all those kind of things still have to be determined. But that gives you like the basis of where I'm going with content planning. It's like my little sweet weeks size planner, but on steroids. It's like jumping to 2 ginormous planners. Most of my planner systems have gone smaller, but not this. This is going to be a really robust, I need lots of room in this content planning system because this was just a little too small for what I wanted to do. Another thing to note about this system, I don't want to use fountain pens for this. This is like a quick down and dirty, writing things out. I do use a few stickers here and there, like setting up the weeks and stuff, but I use one pen. This is a dedicated black pen, quick down and dirty writing. So I won't use the fountain inks for this very much, if any, because I want to be able to scribble down the notes and ideas and dot pen off things really fast. So I feel like all of these are really good for that kind of thing. So I don't necessarily want my content planner on the TRP paper because it does take a little bit to dry, but I'm going to be flipping back and forth for pages, writing down notes and ideas and to-do lists and things. So I want this to be like a quick down and dirty writing, no fountain pen wait time type of thing. Whereas a lot of my planners, I leave them open. So if it's a fountain ink thing, it's like I'm using the same page for the whole week. It can be left open and let the lines dry. I think that covers everything for today. Of course, I'm going to link to everything. I do have a Moxie Life coupon. I have a Laurel Denise coupon. I'll link to those for you guys. Of course, I've got affiliate links for everything, so you guys can check that out. I'll link to all the things I was talking about. I'm excited to try out a bigger, more robust system and keep track of all of the affiliate stuff a lot better. That's where I think my weakest point has been, is like, okay, I'll get all the launch information. Like each company sends out a newsletter and I don't keep track of those days, hardly ever. I feel like I've definitely failed at sharing those things with you guys as well, because I know you guys want the deals too. We all want to be able to save money where we can, and I've not been great about sharing a lot of that information. I just haven't had a good system set up. So I'm really working towards that. Black Friday, I was really good about sharing those things with you guys, but I haven't been good. Like, I don't consider myself an influencer, right? Like, I just consider myself somebody who likes to play with the planners, but I really have to get my stuff together for that side of things. Keep track of some of that stuff, right? Not just play with pretty planners and buy all the pretty planners, right? Anyway, shifting gears back to our fountain inks. These ones have definitely dried, but the TRP ones haven't. But look at that shimmer. I love both of those so much. This is just one of the ones where I'm like, ooh, I need that kit. It's such a beautiful gray. I'm looking for like my perfect black/dark gray ink to use as like a dedicated black ink for a lot of things. That would totally be in the running. It looks good. I think it's going to be writing on the more medium side, but yeah, gorgeous, stunning ink. The TRP is not all the way dried down, but pretty much. We got a wet area right there. But the rest of it looks pretty dried down. It's just gorgeous. Just like the perfect little gray. Almost leans a little bit grayish, so it's got that little brown undertone, which is just gorgeous. All my walls are grayish in my whole house. It's like builder grade paint, but they're repose gray, which is a gorgeous, warm, leaning grayish color. Beautiful. Okay, I need to go fill out the advent. I need to fill out a couple of days of stuff. I may or may not speed that up on camera for you guys. I think I'm gonna just write my writing samples and then wrap up this video and speed up some clips for you guys at the end. So I hope you guys like this. I love being able to, first of all, like hash these ideas out to give you guys potentially more ideas, but it also helps me just talking through it. Like I'm trying to talk somebody through it and explain my process. It helps clear up some of the things. Like I came to the example of, okay, I'm going to use one for 1 month, one for the next month, done. Inner system for content, almost figured out and hashed out. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, follow me along. I'll be back for Vlogmas Day 8 tomorrow for you guys. And that's it. Have a great day, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye! Okay, quick note, I wrote these out, and that was Cloudlet's Vet Day. I didn't end up writing about it, but I may end up putting a couple of pictures in from that. And then also, I wrote this one out, and I was like, ugh, is that the right ink? Because it looks a little bit green here, and it doesn't look green at all down here. So I'm thinking I didn't clean this pen out entirely the best, because I don't know what other color that it could have been. None of the other colors look even remotely close to that color, so I'm pretty sure that's the one. I just didn't clean the pen out the greatest, so I did get some sort of color mixing here, unless this dries down to look like this. I don't remember it looking so green, like initially writing it. I don't know, so I'm gonna let that one sit. Maybe, I don't know, clean this out. As I use this, I will definitely take this ink out in a different container and not put it in the Sailing Stones bottle. I don't want to like contaminate the entire bottle. So that was a total fail, I think, on my part, because it doesn't look like it's trying to be the same color. So I'll have to really make sure I clean out my pens, because that was a very greenish color. Don't love how this looks. Love how this looks. So yeah, totally messed up the ink in here. Thankfully, I guess the good side of this is it is just a cartridge converter. So it's not a ton of ink that I'm contaminating / wasting. I'll probably put that in one of the empty vials. Caught up with that. I do want to put in some pictures of our night out, so I'll put those in. Maybe this will be pictures. And also, Elfie is so silly. Our elf, his name is Elfie. He is so silly, and I have been taking pictures of his antics, so I might do a spread of little elf on the shelf goodness as well. And I wanted to stick a few stickers on here to decorate these a little bit. This one's already kind of decorated. I might match these up actually with the white stickers.